Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Well, the crypto market continues to torture the typical lemming retail speculator who doesn't know their left hand from their right. Those poor little lovable things. I feel bad for them sometimes because at this moment there are all sorts of people who are in fear, and it does not make sense, in my humble opinion, to be in fear as a result of the downward price action today in crypto markets. I mean, realistically, we've just been ranging the last few months, but I'll tell you this. XRP can change direction very quickly. This entire market can. And it's going to. I mean, in fact, that entire concept is basically the theme of this video. It seems impossible and people are beaten down until suddenly that's not the case anymore. I mean, I'll show you. We got to talk about this. The degree to which XRP can just flip on a dime to just disappointing for years and years and years on into... It's insane, and I've lived through those moments multiple times. To think that's never going to happen again is just completely absurd. So I'm going to share with you some perspective from a number of chart analysts in this latest Moon Lambo hot jam, and if you're feeling a little bit fearful, I think this is going to help you. I'm pretty damn sure. And I certainly always acknowledge that nobody knows for sure what's going to happen in terms of price action for any coin or for the market as a whole. And even if our suspicions, many of us that think the market's going to go up, even if we're correct, there's always that possibility that even if that's the case and it's reasonable to be very optimistic, a black swan event can occur. So you never know for sure. But if we're just talking in probability, which is pretty much what I'm always doing, yeah, it makes sense to be really excited right here at this moment in time. This is the most excited I've ever been to hold XRP specifically and to be in the crypto market. The life-changing wealth that we've been seeking, many of us for years on end, it's about here. That's my suspicion. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. At the time I'm recording this video, it's 5:39 p.m. Central Time on Sunday, June 23rd, 2024. XRP is 48 cents. Bitcoin at $63,982. So it's been dipping down a bit this afternoon. Crypto Fear and Green Index 55 out of 100. But this index only updates every 24 hours. Doesn't update for another, it says 1 hour and 19 minutes and 53 seconds. So won't be surprised if it's there or potentially even a little bit lower. It'll probably be somewhere around there because we haven't seen like a crazy move to the downside, but we are a little bit down at the moment. But this always happens. Historically, this always happens. Take a look at this chart. This is from TechDev, and I've been following this guy for over half a decade now. He's one of the most reputable analysts out there with over 460,000 followers on X for good reason. And he shared this chart, which is the crypto total market cap, excluding the top 10 coins by market cap. And you might notice something about this. And he wrote, hashtag altcoins. Think it's over? So did they. And you can see this moment in time right now, this little finger pointing right here, this little icon. That's where we are right now. And it looks very similar to 2020, where he circled right here. And 2016 going into 2017, same damn thing. Nobody thought, not literally, but just about nobody in those moments thought that this crypto market for the alts was going to turn around. It sure as hell did. It sure as hell did. And it ran. And you can see what he's talking about. And so the red line, so first of all, the green line, so you got the moving average there, but the red line is the SAR or SAR. Now, I'm not a chart guy. I'm not pretending to be. I don't want to be one, so I haven't committed all of this stuff to memory. But there are certain terms and, certain understandings of certain chart things that I know just because I've been following chart guys for so long that I'm not even seeking. It's just because of repetition. This is not something I committed to memory, but I wanted to pull it up for you so you understand what you're looking at here. And this is just from Investopedia explaining what SAR is, S-A-R. And they write, the parabolic SAR indicator developed by J. Wells Wilder is used by traders to determine trend direction and potential reversals in price. The indicator uses a trailing stop and reverse method called SAR, or stop and reverse, to identify suitable exit and entry points. Traders also refer to the indicator as the parabolic stop and reverse, parabolic SAR, or PSAR. Yeah, and you can understand why they throw the word parabolic on there. Here's the chart again. And so that's what the red line is. Look at this moment of fear and look at where it flipped. And you see what's happened. We are in a moment where it already has flipped. It's moving to the upside now. This is what's happened in previous cycles. That's the point that he is making. Is this time different? Or Is it the same? And we're just ranging, which is normal after hitting an all-time high for months on end. And then we do continue a dramatic move to the upside. And all sorts of coins, including XRP, do hit all-time highs. What do you think is probable? Then he also shared this. This is also from TechDev. This is a Bitcoin USD chart, and he wrote, there's only one other time in Bitcoin history when the 2-week Gaussian channel flipped green. Price consolidating at the prior high marked the halfway point of a parabolic move few saw coming. And so this is happening at the same time as what he just showed you in the other chart. And what's the Gaussian channel? Again, I'm not a chart guy, so I didn't commit this one to memory. It's just one of those terms like, yeah, what the hell is it? So I just did a quick Google search before recording. The Gaussian channel indicator is a technical analysis tool that helps traders identify price trends and potential trading opportunities. It is based on the concept of normal distribution and creates upper and lower channels that encapsulate the price action. And so here's the chart again. It hasn't happened in about 7 years. And he's saying that's the moment in time where we are right now. Another indicator, says TechDev, that should have us confident that we're going to continue to see a move to the upside. Take a look at this from chart analyst Crypto Caesar, Bitcoin USD chart. And again, and just to be clear, in case you're new to the channel, even if you care more about altcoins, and I do, even if you care more about XRP than Bitcoin, and I sure as hell do, because XRP is my largest coin, you should be interested in what's happening with Bitcoin because it leads the market. You want it to go higher so that the altcoin market pops. That's why this matters. So even if you're bored by Bitcoin stuff, you should be excited by it, even if you don't hold Bitcoin. Even if you think it's stupid, and that's, I say fair enough. I mean, it's the least technologically cryptocurrency in existence, but I'm still fond of it, and I still hold it, and I've been holding it since 2017. Same for XRP, same for ETH, and a bunch of other coins, Cardano, Tron, you name it. Anyway, so Crypto Caesar says, looking at Bitcoin on the lower time frames, it is of note that Bitcoin sits at 35.39 on the one-day RSI, Relative Strength Index. On each occasion in the last 12 months, when Bitcoin has reached this point, it has bounced to the upside nicely. Note the price point on each occasion, $25,000, $38,000, $56,000. Given that price is also sitting on the short-term holder realized price, I think there is a good case for a bounce. This would be an area I would be adding, not selling. And so here you can see this chart going back about a year. And look at the instances. This is what he's talking about. When it reaches this level, those historically, at least for the last year, for this market cycle, have been moments where it bounces. So is this a point instead where, for the first time in the last 12 months, it's just going to break down? Stock market rips to an all-time high, and crypto doesn't ultimately catch up? I just don't think that's what's most probable. Nobody knows for sure. I don't know for sure. We could be wrong. But in terms of what's probable, yeah, I'm thinking ultimately some serious face-melting action. Here's a post from chart analyst Ali Martinez, and he says, short-term Bitcoin holders are starting to feel the pressure as Bitcoin continues to trade below their realized price of $66,200. Yeah, so people that have been buying recently, they're underwater, and if it goes low enough, people cry uncle. Typical limiting retail speculators, they give up, but eventually enough of those people get out of the market. There's consolidation, and the market resumes its move to the upside, which is what I'm anticipating. That's what I think is most probable here. And take a look at this. And this is, like I was citing at the outset, things can happen very quickly, including with XRP. And Credible Crypto did a really good job explaining just how quickly things can change. And so in this case, he's talking about Bitcoin, but like I've seen this with XRP. I jumped into crypto November 2017. It was a crazy time to get your feet wet with crypto because when I jumped in, I mean, I didn't know it, of course, but we were about to see like the craziest alt run in history. Where it's like you like even if you're an idiot, for that brief moment in time, it was impossible to not make money. Like it was impossible to not have like buy something and have it not go way up if you were buying around that time. And again, for me, it was November. But to see XRP, I was right there. XRP, nobody thought it was going to happen. Not literally nobody, but the typical lemming retail speculator. It wasn't going to happen. People were capitulating. XRP had been moving sideways for half a year, and then it just rocketed very quickly. And so you don't know for sure when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen again. I firmly believe that. And to illustrate that, Credible Crypto here is specifically talking about Bitcoin. It happens with Bitcoin very quickly too. And people get beaten down, and they forget the fact that for the last 15 years, this has been the case. Trending to the upside, volatility to the downside along the way that scares people, but then inevitably, big-ass moves to the upside, making people very, very rich. And people just, you're never going to get that if you can't suffer through the sideways and downward price action. But you don't even have to do it. Like, all you have to do is precisely nothing. I mean, I'm not telling you listening what to do. I don't know your financial, I'm not offering financial advice. I don't know what's best for you. But what I'm saying is, for the typical person, it seems very clear to me that those who hold are way more likely to end up wealthy, just not getting spooked out of positions even if it's going down. And so Credible Crypto said, our last impulse took us from $38,000 to $73,000 in 1.5 months. Folks, think about that. $38,000 to $73,000. That's $35,000 in a month and a half. And before that, do you remember, did anybody at the time think that was going to happen? I mean, we'd been trending up for some time at that point, but still, did anybody think that was going to happen? Not most people, not the typical lemming retail speculator. And then he says that's a $35,000 move in about 50 days. The impulses that follow should be even more aggressive, and we are trading at $64,000. Our next impulse could send us to $100,000 within 30 days. And we still have around 6 months left till end of year. You do the math. And so I'm just saying, think about what all of these analysts are saying. It's data, and then they share their perspective on what that data means. Like, do you find it compelling? Do you find it interesting, since it's data showing what happened in previous moments that were like the one we're in now? Do you believe, as I do, that it's cause to be optimistic? I sure as hell absolutely do. And by the way, as far as XRP, let me show you this, because this is the first time in history this level's been hit. Take a look at this from chart analyst Greg Crypto. There's an XRP BTC chart, which I'm going to pull up in a second, but this is the RSI Relative Strength Index for the pair. And so check this out. This level's never been hit in the history of XRP. And when you get this low, like, this is the moment for XRP where it's so supremely oversold, it's gonna rocket. So check this out. Here's what he said. XRP BTC RSI monthly time frame update. We've hit the lowest RSI, Relative Strength Index, for XRP BTC in history. The current oversold territory is so low that even the 2020 Black Swan event had a higher RSI than we do right now. Stay steady, because I am expecting a similar exceptional move, but this time in the overbought section. And think about that. That is kind of crazy, right? This is how beaten down XRP is. But this is good. Like, these are the moments right before XRP goes ballistic. And then the typical person that's out there just feels pain and doesn't understand that's the case, and a lot of people panic sell. But think about that. Like, even with the panic of 2020, think about all of 2020. With all the pandemic nonsense. You remember how prices collapsed in March. Then at the end of 2020, with the SEC lawsuit against Ripple, hammering the price of XRP, the RSI is lower now than then. That's insane. That's awesome. Because this is what this shows. And so a typical range, and I know this just because I pick up stuff as time passes, even though I'm not a chart guy, in general, for just a general asset, a level of 30 on the RSI would indicate that it's overbought, but, and we're above that. But you have to look at the individual asset. And so for some, the oversold area, if you have to draw upon historical precedent to determine what an actual low is, because it does vary. So the range is 34, this is just on average, for whatever the asset might be, whether it's a stock, crypto, whatever. 30 would be oversold, and 70 would be overbought. But again, you have to look at the historic precedent. And for XRP, this is the lowest it's ever been. That's just, that is insane. To the people that aren't optimistic for the future of XRP, like, you're out your damn mind, son. Are you a damn fool? And here's the XRP BTC chart that he shared. And just, again, these moments when XRP is priced this poorly against Bitcoin, this is when it goes. Eventually, the market does find a bottom for XRP price against Bitcoin, and it just goes. And it can happen very quickly, and then it rips faces off. That's what we're waiting for. So we just have to be patient, but we're in a freaking bull run, son. Like, there's so many reasons I've never been this optimistic as a crypto holder. And then another reason I'm not scared is because even if the improbable happens and we go into a bear market and we don't see highs and there's no expansion, okay, whatever. Then I just wait another 3-4 years, whatever it takes for the market to rebound, and then it's still going to happen. I'm just gonna be more patient than everyone else. I'm gonna do precisely nothing. And then since I keep earning new money, as if we go down, if that were to happen, if the improbable happens, I'll just buy a bunch more crypto. It's like I win either way. Like that's all it takes. The market gets bigger. It's the same for stocks. So, and again, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that we're going to be very happy if we fast forward another, roughly 6 months out. I assume that a lot of the fireworks will have happened by then, although I don't pretend to know for sure. It's just a for fun guess. Don't take that seriously. It's not like I'm that confident. I mean, I cannot, not only do I not guess price, I sure as hell can't guess timeline, but I'm very optimistic as time passes, we're going to keep trending in that direction despite bear markets and drawdowns. So what? This is such an amazing time to be alive. What an amazing time to be in crypto. Life-changing wealth at hand. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.